Did you know that you could sea monkey just about anything when you have the original Seamonkeys Instant Life refill pack? Well, we're gonna try using this 12-ounce container that I found at a candy store, the Sugar Planet. And we're gonna fill it up with some distilled water and then use the 3 packets from the Instant Life refill pack and see if we could get a good sea monkey colony going. So let's get started. First off, I don't need this straw. So we have some distilled water in here I've been saving. I disinfected this already using some white vinegar and water. Rinsed it out like 10 times. Hopefully there's enough water in this container, but I have another one if we need. So let's fill it up. It goes right to the top, like pretty much right there is about 12 ounces. So we have packets 1 and 2. So this is the water purifier and this is the instant live eggs, number 2 and number 1. Typically the instructions will tell you that you want to put packet 1, wait 24 hours, and then put packet 2 in. But in this case, since we're using distilled water that's has no minerals, no nothing in it, we could go right and put both of these packets right in at the same time. So I'm going to open them up. We're also going to use Algae Boost Plus, which is a product I make. It's cultured algae that basically helps you get algae started to grow on day 1 and gives you a more healthy sea monkey colony. So here's packet 1. See a whole bunch of salt and some other minerals. There's also probably some eggs in there. A little secret, but you know, we like secrets here. So now packet 2 is the live eggs, which also has some salt in it and some eggs. But this one's actually going to make it turn a little blue. If you watch, you're going to see some blue streaks, maybe some green tints. And you'll see them kind of going through the water right there. I'll try to zoom in for you guys. I'm going to use the water lasso that I make, so that should be in the shop soon. You can get the billion bubble air wand if you're doing this manually, like many people like to. So you can see it's hard to just kind of stir up the bottom. I haven't done this before, so I didn't know how this was going to work out. So you run into little things like that. So what we're going to do is clear out all the water, and we're going to grab this little cap thing here. I'm going to take the guy off so I have this directly to cover up. We're going to, hopefully it doesn't leak. We haven't tried this yet. So, all right, no leakage, or a little leakage. So we're going to go like that. You got to be careful. Not that easy to do this. We probably lost a few sea monkeys onto the table. So we got to be careful. We can try something else. I could probably put it onto this and start blowing some bubbles. But honestly, it'll dissolve. Most of it is already dissolved. You can see it's kind of in stasis now. Just going for it. Let's turn it around so you can see the clear side. So that's all it takes to set up one of these tanks. Usually it's a little easier if you use the original tank. So I do recommend the original tank. I also set this up. This is a piece of aquarium tubing. We're going to be using an electric air pump for this. So it just goes right into the hole right here, right where the straw was. So since you don't need the straw, it's going to take a little spinning to get it down because there's like a corkscrew here, but it goes right to the bottom. I cut it on an angle so the bubble comes up a little easier. And this is the tubing's going to attach right here. But let's first put in Algae Boost Plus. So when you buy this is a cultured algae in a little tiny bit. We don't need a lot because you don't want to change the salt parameters too much right away. So what you do is you take the cap off. There's going to be a water seal on top of that. See that little thing? Now how I like to do it is take some of the water and put it in here. Then you're going to take that little cap again, give it a shake, pour it back in. I could see some of the eggs already floating to the top. And now you have a cultured algae starting day 1 in your tank. So that's going to be really cool and helpful for some people. So now you can see that this has like a little bit of a blue tint, maybe greenish tint. Everything's pretty much dissolved. It'll dissolve on its own too over time. So we're going to come back in 24 hours and check to see if these are hatching or not. They should be, but we'll see. I have a whole setup. Let's go do a tour of my setup in my office. It's a cool little curio cabinet. We'll go through it in there. So let's get going. All right, here's my completed sea monkey setup. It's a curio cabinet I got off of Temu actually. So you can see I have like heat pads, I have grow lights plus a built-in light into the container. So that's the grow light back there. It's not on right now. And that's the built-in light. It goes on motion. Got my x-ray specs on my tanks. There's Algae Boost Plus with some of my tools. And there's another tank that I worked on. I'm trying to get going. You can see there's a bunch of hatchlings in there already. And then I have these two other ones of some stuff I'm working on. And that's a freshwater shrimp tank that has some neocardina shrimps. You could also say that of my turtles. They're hanging out. They're looking for me. They're funny little guys. Don't mind the algae. I have to put some snails back in there. But this is the new setup. Pretty cool, I think. I like it. But we'll see. We have a nice bubbler going. The heat pad's going to keep it around 78. I have a thermostat on it in this tank. You can see there's like a little black line in there. That's actually the thermometer. So when that hits 78 degrees, it turns off. I also monitor each one. So you can see my office is about 70 degrees. Well, inside these cabinets, even though I've had them open for a bit, are 75. We'll do an update on this in 24 hours, see if they're hatching. So let's cut to that. It's been about 48 hours. 24 hours just wasn't enough for all these little guys to start hatching, even though it's really warm in there. Nice comfortable temperature, but you can see them now. They kind of are hanging out. Got a couple there, one up there. So they're starting to hatch. They're mostly staying towards the top. A little bit in the center here. I haven't seen any in the base so far. So this might not be a permanent thing. Oh, there's one. It's made it down there. There's at least two down there, actually. All right, so they're down there. So there's about like 6 or 7 hatched. Now I'll do the first feeding in about 4 or 5 days. It's been about a week, so we're gonna try feeding these guys. I'm gonna take one of the bottles from Algae Boost Plus, and we're gonna take some growth food, which I have in my growth food container here. We're gonna do like a little less than about a half a scoop, like between a quarter and a half. Oops, that's no good. We'll put it right in there. Now we're gonna take a little bit of the water from the tank and put it into the jar. Now, just take it, shake it up. You look, it's not, now you can see it all dispersed through there a little bit. Get all the chunks out. Now if you get a lump, it's not a big deal. And this will be a lot easier for the babies to eat, or even adult ones. And you can see it just gets dispersed into it. No problems. Maybe a little chunk there, but no big deal. And that's it. So we're gonna put the lid back on. Update when they grow a little bit. We'll come back in another week to feed and see how big they get. All right, it's been about a week since I fed them last, and you can see they're doing really good in here. This is one of the best hatches I've had, honestly, and really fast growth rate. There's about 8 or so, maybe more, all around. Some have been going to the bottom where the algae's growing really good. The Algae Boost Plus really got it to go really fast. What's crazy is these have been growing so fast. They're actually about the size of the ones in my tank that's been around for 2 months now. I did this Seamonkeys on Mars kit, and I did these guys around the same time in this tank. I didn't do a video on them though. I'm just trying to get them to go, and they're about this. These are still like little larva-looking things. Hard to see in the tank, but there's still a few in there. But these have been doing great. They're pretty much adults. They should start mating soon. So when they start mating, I'll let you know, and we'll finish off the video. So this is gonna be the final update on the DIY tank. Unfortunately, we have some bad news. It's done. So let's go take a look at it. You can see, guys, no sea monkeys left. And unfortunately, it seems like there was some sort of bloom of algae that wasn't good for them, or some sort of bacteria, maybe something like that. I don't know, but you can see it's fuzzy and white. And I noticed right before they were starting to go, it was attaching to them, and they were probably having trouble breathing. This isn't an ideal tank. This is gonna be my final say on this tank. It's cool, it works, but I made the mistake of adding that airline tube later on in the process because I thought the big air bubble was kind of disrupting them in this narrow tube. I might have ended up making it worse. Probably not the best setup in general, especially because of how tall it is. You really want to move the water from the bottom too a little bit, so my fault, but I wanted to be transparent and show you guys that, like, yeah, you can make mistakes even if you've been doing this for a while. I would say something like this where it's a little wider and tall is fine. You guys do you. That's Algae Boost Plus, by the way. Yeah, I didn't say that earlier. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Please subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment. Tell me what other tanks that you might want me to do. So if you find something on Amazon, leave me a link. We're also going to do this in the next video. It's the Jason tank, so that'll be the next video. It's in the works. But guys, thanks for hanging out. Let's take a look at some of these tanks while I go. I will see you guys in the next video.